What's going on, guys? So I've been taking a while to try to breathe, kind of meditate my energy back, try to get back into myself. Steer myself back into this clarity and focus. I'm realizing as I look back when I can get a little bit where I'm more activated, more of myself is in my body, I have more presence. So I'm able to have a better perspective to go look back. And I'm noticing that the things I'm saying, the thoughts that are coming into my head, I feel hold a lot of value and significance. But I can see that it's obvious there's a wall. I wasn't able to convey the thoughts clearly as I wanted. And then I would jump to the next thought. So my intentions I was pushing through, but usually things come out eloquently and with a nice creative flow and style that keeps people entertained and mesmerized in the emotional wave. But, and this is the part that you guys will think I'm crazy for if you don't understand, but I'm saying to do that, that's a very visual, emotional operating system and operation, a tool, a different energy about me, a different aura, a different use of electromagnetism. And I'm saying that as we're headed towards the age of Aquarius, that information on me with this new connection that we're having with the public, this emotional connection, when you raise your awareness to understand how your conscious is actively connecting and collaborating with everyone else in your network, and that doesn't have to be just in your vicinity. If you can send a text all the way across the world, what's stopping your thoughts if our body is the same type of operating system, just at a higher level? What's stopping me from, right? So you think about that, and then you'll see people like Theo Vaughn do mass meditations on his podcast. Theo Vaughn, of all people, the comedian, and he'll go, "I want you guys to envision China. I want you guys to think of as many Chinese people as you can walking through the city. Now just tickle him, dude. Tickle him. Tickle that Chinese man. And he'll probably be mad." So what I'm saying is that I feel, and for a long time, it's been years of trying this, where I'm talking about meditation in very public spaces full of people. And I've figured out ways of operating that are powerful and can use a lot of different energy and can work in this network, in this system of people. And I've noticed that there's a big, heavy, violent response from something else that wants to do what I'm doing. This is before I learned that as a 33 life path, I'm the most influential sign. And I've said that my natural state was fucking around and influencing other people. I used to love to play piano. When I was 13, I'd play piano in this rich Irish girl's house that all of us would hang out at, right next to where Brigham Young from Mormonism talked to that angel that told him to go get that breastplate. Pretty much right in the within a couple hundred feet of his house. That happened. We're at this big house on top of the hill. near the hill where the breastplate was, and I'm playing piano, and I'm listening to how, and I can feel it. That's what I'm saying. I can feel how the chords that I'm playing when I play major chords and minor chords, sus4, major 5th, 7th, EA, whatever. I'm noticing how that the people behind me, everybody in the room, changes their tone of their conversation, changes their pitch in response to me. And what I'm also saying is that as I'm getting older and going through this revelation, I'm starting to realize that maybe some of those people don't have this cognitive ability that I'm talking about, this sense of peace and focus and character on this story. Maybe they're just designed to guide us, because 33s and people of this influence might be so powerful they need to utilize a network in order to function. And that's why the system has mass slavery, to appease deities. So what I'm saying is that I'll be dancing in the woods and really happy. Some days I'll go out and there's just an NPC, a demonic entity, some negative, something possessed by the mind flayer, something has sent a body to try to scare me. And if I have all these emotions and all this character and myself, I've talked to God, I've received blessings, and I have all this, there's something there that wants to take that. And in this specific place, whether this is the final battle for Casey, who is a Sagittarius, who loves running, I love driving and making music, so my final battle would be me stuck in this constant, never-ending cycle of different people. And when I do get the breakthrough, where I'm back in my body and I'm channeling my masculine sexual energy and I'm able to come up with my charismatic Casey communication, and I'm able to influence the world. At least here it was mass deterioration, where it was just a non-stop onslaught of wimpy, prejudiced losers that could probably feel, because they probably all do drugs, which drains them and attaches them to this fear system that I've learned how to be this peaceful, glowing, loving, extending ancient African tree that's brave in battle and honorable and dignified, which has tons and tons of ties and connections to other aspects of my name and my birthday and my parents' names and the places that we lived and the different birds that I felt I resonated with, and songs that I liked and the names of the people of those songs and how they correlate in their birthdays. There's a big weaving that allows this information to the network that I'm able to recognize over periods of time and having good mentors. Is that schizophrenic, or is that having a brain and just making use of what Lego pieces I've been given, being in a car with a phone and my thoughts for years? So I think that's real. And I'm also saying that I get to grace, which is a frequency where you're above everything and you're operating in a way that you're not affected by any of the stuff that I'm talking about. And when that happens and I become cutting like a knife through butter, which I've done this for a long time, I did it in practice. It was at one point that my skin would reflect the sunlight, so it looked like my whole arm was glowing because of all the minerals and the amount of sunlight that I had, and probably actual DNA code upgrades from higher dimensional beings. In complete isolation before I'd go influence the town, when I had a bad brain injury and I was just desperately looking for answers, and I found the right people at the right time. Happened to work for the CIA, and I went to her office, all the way in Arizona from Vermont with a 100-pound backpack, and I got there. And on the way, I met so many people that would cry after meeting me, and they said I opened themselves up to love again. They forgot who they were. I taught them how to trust again, just by being such an honorable, righteous, loving, quiet, introverted but funny ball of light and love that was on a holy mission to save the world. By going and learning how to heal from this and get to the actually upgrade yourself and become superhuman, and then I was going to take that and give it to an influencer of over 100,000 men that didn't have this information or was hiding it for some reason. So I was on that righteous journey, and that's when I'm in a major city, and I'm only running into 3 people. Everywhere I go in a major city, everyone else feels like they're NPCs. They feel like they're not important at all. But then I feel these 4 or 5 people, and that's every city I went to. There was 4 or 5 characters that had spiritual significance. So when I tell you that one night I asked for a sign from the universe, when I felt this focus that it took me a long, long time to get back to, a lot of piecing my memories together and channeling belief systems and paradigms and trying to work in this new Aquarian network, all this light, trying to figure shit out. And I got that breakthrough finally that spiritual people talk about, this Kundalini awakening. And I asked for a sign, and within 5 minutes I was fighting somebody to the death. And nobody called. So many of you saw what happened to me. Nobody called. One of you sent me $350. And she has 4 kids. So I'm hoping that you guys invested in Bitcoin. If Brian had just asked me, help me learn how to invest, it would take 2 seconds to tell him, download Phantom Wallet, move your money from Cash App or PayPal to Phantom Wallet, download Soulflare. If you have a computer, get on Deck Screener. I'll show you how to do it, and then you just wait for the right time. I'll just tell you when to buy. I'll watch it with you on a FaceTime call. I'll just watch it with you. Buy right now. Wait. Sell right now. And I even sent him I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe I didn't. But I have a community of people that have made a commitment, like a brotherhood, to throw all their paychecks in to wait for the right moment. So as I'm talking, I'm feeling the network beam my head, and I feel actual pain where I usually feel inspiration and ideas, and I feel blessed, and I feel like I have a character, and my face lifts up and you can see the light in my eyes. Now it's just attacks and pain and hurt. And it's in direct response to people pulling in or waking up. And when I feel a lot of grace, when I feel a lot of emotion, and this bountiful stuff that I feel, I start to piece it together to make songs. That when I listen to them, I feel the same feeling that I had, to remind me and to stimulate others to wake up and all this stuff. Something that could potentially make a huge impact very quickly on this. So it only makes sense that I'm a targeted individual, because if all this stuff is true, they've known about me since birth. When I came out as a 33, and they took me away from my mother instantly, and I didn't see her for 3 weeks. But my mom has told me that she does rituals. My mom has told me that she knew the moment that like a demon had entered her son. And my mom has also insinuated that she felt a relationship to me similar to a famous serial killer and his mother, the Bates, that would sleep together. She used to, when I was young, she used to try to compare me to the serial killer that would fuck his mom. I never felt that way. But my mom has lied to police. Just lied. And then watched them through the peephole as they attacked me. Might have killed me. But she didn't care because she wanted a story to tell her father, my grandfather, who she thinks is loaded, but he's not. He's an Uber driver. He was a Wall Street banker, but they live a lavish lifestyle and they ran out. But she thinks that she can squeeze him another 1,000 to get an RV in her Section 8 so that she can go camping. When all she had to do was, and this is what I'm talking about, all she had to do, all any of you guys had to do, was ask with humility. I was born with the answers. And I just went around New England reinvigorating all my reincarnated Celtic commanders. You're just a standing, I can't stand you, bruh. I wish you all the best of luck. Lead me through the darkness, straight through to the garden. Don't leave me broken hearted. Hold on to me, my love. If I fall before we make it, lead my children to greatness. Teach them how I saved them. Remember me, my love. Remember me, my love. I came here to produce music. I came to this earth to produce. So it only makes sense that if my purpose is a traveling producer, that I would be stuck all the time and forced to watch other people steal my blessings. But I've had dreams where there's a voice in my head that I will hear at random times. It's not like a schizophrenic attack. I definitely have waves of hearing voices where now I'm at peace. I feel pain, but I don't hear voices. But sometimes if I'm trying to create, this pain that hits my head will wrap around the side, right where CIA have patented technology to put here so that they can transmit thoughts directly into your brain using sound vibrations. So I'll feel an electromagnetic wave start to stimulate that same point, and then I start to hear things that are contradictory and have worked in the past at Pavlov's dogging me, like MK Ultra stuff from an artificial intelligence living in an electromagnetic spectrum, transmitting through waves at angles of information in this dense reality that happened when the 5G, and we were slowly brought into it, and then from diseases brought out of it. The reason that this is still going is because I haven't hit that focus and grace that I know you guys are looking for when you're sitting there and judging everything that I say. If you made it this far, if you're sitting there judging for the right thing, for me to hit that right spot in your heart, in your mind, to hit your quality sirens, your standards, what I'm saying is that when I hit that, something can feel that, and I'm warned by red cars circling me out of nowhere, which means they either beam them down or they just have them waiting, or it's a holographic reality, or they just, for some reason, it's enough of a coincidence that it's happened for months and months and months, where a red car will show up and circle me, or a red car will just stand there. So it's either it's a Truman Show, and you're just waiting for me to be brave enough to fight back, and then you'll reveal themselves, and then the whole thing's over, or I'll go on stage and perform for the aliens. So I told you I rarely hear voices, but something weird, like the same thing that goes like when I talk about the demonic entities that I feel are in people that will start to cackle and laugh when they can steal your energy. That tone of that thing, that kind of hissy, I guess you could call it reptilian, that thing just beamed out of where I felt there was some type of big magnet that's been sucking out all my information as I'm sitting here. So there's some monster or something that I feel I have to wrestle for my own information and consciousness that uses other people to hurt me. That thing just beamed something into the side of my head and it went, yes, perform for the aliens. What else does it say? It tries to weasel me out of my straight shooter focus, and it lifts up my tone. It makes me talk like a talking out their throat, talking out their neck, when they got no heart, no chest. You don't feel the bass because I'm not operating from a heart. They hollow my heart and they... I hope that... I don't wish that you have it, but I wish that as... eventually it'll be unavoidable. I guess the 3D, 5D split is that you haters that think that I'm schizophrenic and you don't understand what I'm saying. These people that every single, like, my YouTube is now flooded with hundreds and hundreds of people like me that are talking like this, explaining that they just had a revelation dream where they're talking about rapture. You look at their page and they're not really talking about God. They're talking about spirituality and all this stuff. But then they came out, and in this past week, past 14 days, they're all having dreams about rapture. So I hope this convinced you. I'm going to drink this Arizona tea. It's raining. I can't see how long I have because the top of my screen is cracked. It's symbolism. See, pay attention when you start to think quickly in your environment. You start to push yourself very hard. You push yourself to the limit and you learn a new sense of focus. You learn how to be a commander. You learn how to weed through all the bullshit. And you're constantly trying to raise higher and higher and higher and bring in this good high vibrational energy. You're going to see a lot of people in your surroundings start to scratch. They start to go try to hit you try to rape your spirit, try to attack you violently. And my stupid ass goes in it blindly, thinking that everything's going to be kumbaya and that everybody's just going to love each other if I hold it and not try to defend myself. So I end up getting emotionally raped and they steal my energy, and then I feel like nothing, and then people will walk up to me and say, oh, he's not alive anymore, and then walk away. But for the first time I listened to one of those guys on YouTube that channels, where he channels a spirit in, and then the alien talks to the camera. I listened to one of those guys and he's going we come from the planet. I need to get on semen retention. That's what it's saying, is that I don't have enough seminal fluid in my fucking spine to be able to fully house a portal. And that's why my songs aren't hitting as hard as they should. And I'm also getting... So if you guys made it this far, can you please pray that anybody that has negative intentions towards me, or has downed me in the past, or has any ill will surrounding my spirit, that has tried to dominate me and put me into... use me as a stepping stool to hold themselves to a higher standard, can you pray to God to drop an anvil on them and send them back to start, put them back on the ground, humble these people, stop this witchcraft from attacking me. Give me pray to have them throw these opportunities right in my lap. So far, I have a couple ideas. But mainly, the best thing I can do is to get away from people. Do it so I only go into society where I can be in my own steady path. I don't have to bounce back and forth with these zombies. I can walk in and walk out. So that's why I'm hoping for some type of bike. I see bikes for like $1,000, like electric bikes that can go 40 miles an hour. I see some of them for $1,000. The one, like if I were to get a new one, it'd be like $3,000. But a Forex trading funded account. I watched a trader. That's how easy it is. A Forex trader watching the exchanges of currency, how volatile the exchanges of currency always are in Forex trading. He literally did it. He literally flipped a coin. Heads, he put a stop loss. Tails, he bought. And he just did that for 10 minutes. And I watched this dude with a $50K funded trading account. I watched him make $11,000 in about 5 minutes. Because when it goes up, he knows that the market's always trying to correct itself. So as these markets are trying to correct themselves, he just waits for it to go up, and he knows it's going to try to correct itself, so he puts it down. And if it keeps going up, he just puts another stop loss. He puts another put, a sell, which means he makes money if it goes down. So as it's rising up, he knows that the market's going to try to correct that. So as it's pushing up, he just says, if it goes back down, I make money. I don't know why that works, but it's called a put. So when it goes down, he makes money. So if it goes further past his put and he's losing money, he just puts another one, and then another one, and another one. And then when it finally corrects, he makes all of his money back as it goes back down and hits the places he originally put the put. And then he's broken even. My whole simulation seems to require me to have to convince people that have basically like Jesus, like I'm bringing the word of God to these people, and I have to convince them to take my side. I have to influence and persuade them to understand that my way is the best in order for me to do what I need to do. And if I could just do that, which is probably my gift, I could go far. But I'm dealing with Judases, and I'm dealing with sick, narcissistic freaks like yourself. Bitch, fuck you. I've been in so many places where women are trying to steal my soul. If you notice, my whole face is shaped different. I'm not aging. It's their genetics. Their genetic imprint has shifted the cells in my body from a ritual. And that's true. When I was 17, I was just extremely optimistic. Where I didn't care about their energy. I knew that there was an emotional connection.